From rebuilding their lives after tragedy to being labeled Hollywood's most hated. My name is Peter and here is what happened to 9 famous child actors over the years. Starting with the kid who made us all want to be left home alone. Macaulay Culkin became a worldwide phenomenon in 1990 playing Kevin McAllister. The movie made over $476 million worldwide and that iconic face slap became his trademark. By 14 he was one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood, but behind the scenes things were falling apart. His father treated him like a cash cow, caring more about the money than his own son. Then his parents divorced in 1995 and literally went to war over his earnings. Macaulay had to remove them both from his trust fund just to end the fighting. In 2000, his half-sister died from drug overdose, but this information didn't teach Macaulay anything. In 2004, he was arrested for possession of illegal substances and avoided prison by paying $4,000 bail. But the worst tragedy was still coming. On December 9, 2008, his sister Dakota was hit by a speeding car while walking with him in LA. She died the next day from all the injuries and this completely broke him. For 5 years he barely worked. He admitted he was done with fame and found comfort in substances, even calling them his good friends. Then in 2017 something changed, something nobody expected. He started dating actress Brenda Song from Disney Channel and fans noticed he looked completely different, healthy, put together, happy. In 2021 they had a son named Dakota, honoring his dead sister. He even returned to acting in American Horror Story's 10th season, and in 2023 they welcomed their second son, Carson. While Macaulay got his redemption arc, Jaden Smith became one of the most hated child actors in Hollywood. His 2010 Karate Kid remake was a massive hit, earning over $350 million. Fans loved his energy and called him cute and fun to watch. Then in 2013 he played in After Earth. Despite starring alongside his dad, it underperformed with only $240 million against huge production costs. People were disappointed with Jaden's acting, saying he's only famous because of nepotism. Even when he tried proving himself on talk shows, people weren't buying it. Online lists call him one of the most hated kid actors, with fans saying his face looks blank. He tried pivoting to music and collaborated with Justin Bieber, but his acting reputation was already destroyed. Now many see him as a kid who had too much help and his popularity has dropped significantly. But when Jaden totally failed after his acting career, Sabrina Carpenter became a global superstar, but her story goes way beyond just singing and everything you know. By age 10 she was uploading covers to YouTube, and at 12 she even signed her first contract without even reading it.
I was 12 when I signed my first contract.
My name is Serena. I'm 10 years old.
I did not read the contract. Like, I was 12, you know what I mean?
In 2014, she landed Girl Meets World playing Maya Hart. Disney eventually signed her to Hollywood Records, and between 2015 and 2019, she released 4 projects, but nothing pushed her into mainstream. Sabrina was wandering between Disney Channel and music. And finally, in 2021, her Disney deal expired. She signed with Island Records and got booked as an opener for Taylor Swift's Eras Tour. Then, in April 2024, she dropped Espresso, which debuted at number 7 on Hot 100 and hit the number 1 in the UK. By summer 2024, Sabrina wasn't just a girl from Disney. She was everywhere, winning Grammys, making huge concert tours across the world, and even hosted SNL. But her live shows became calculated with sexually suggestive performances. There was huge outrage about young Disney fans attending, and she responded by joking that people call her the horniest girl alive. Many people see Sabrina as industry plant, and she is one of the most successful people in today's video and also one of the most controversial. While Sabrina became a global superstar, Noah Monk's journey after iCarly took a much darker turn. Originally cast for just a few episodes of iCarly, the director saw something special and created Gibby, the goofy character who became a fan favorite. His trademark was taking off shirt at random moments, jumping on table, or lying covered in cheese. Fans found it hilarious, but behind the scenes it was destroying. Teenage Noah was reading brutal comments about his weight online. The constant mockery became a complex he couldn't escape. His trademark had become his prison. Eventually, in one episode when asked about the shirt thing, he simply said he doesn't do that anymore. It was his way of saying, I'm done. When iCarly ended, he tried movies and even landed a role on the Goldsberg, but acting reminded him of the label that wouldn't peel off. But during acting, thanks to one of his castmates, he discovered dubstep music and poured everything into creating under names like Noxic and Sadworld. But every time he shared music online, people mocked him and reminded him he would always just be that fat kid from iCarly. The hate got so deep he deleted Twitter and Instagram entirely. Unlike other child actors, Noah didn't turn to drugs or alcohol. He channeled his pain into dark, terrifying music that showed exactly what was in his head. On the other hand, Miranda Cosgrove faced a terrifying stalker situation that could have ended in tragedy. Miranda made the biggest career after iCarly, from creating popular songs tracks to currently hosting Mission Unstoppable and appearing in 6 films and 4 series since the show ended. But her life became twisted when a stalker followed her everywhere. He was sending gifts or even threatening violence. He received a restraining order but quickly broke it, getting a 3-year suspend sentence. And if you think that's it, no. 2 years later, things escalated horrifically. The stalker shot a car near her house, thinking she was inside. Luckily, she wasn't there. Miranda was fortunately out of town when this happened, but for years she struggled with trauma and worked with psychologists to cope with what happened. While Miranda's trauma came from external threats, Haley Joel Osment completely vanished from films. Joel started acting at age 5, debuting in The Forrest Gump and building credits on shows like Murphy Brown. But his top popularity came from the movie The Sixth Sense. He was basically the top child star of his era and people loved him. He continued with projects like Paid Forward and voice work for Family Guy and American Dad. But on April 8, 2025, Haley was arrested in Mammoth Lakes, California for public intoxication and possession of suspected cocaine. During the arrest, he made anti-Semitic remarks and called officers the Nazis. This wasn't his first issue. Constant problems led him in 2006 to take a break from Hollywood to attend the School of Art, citing predatory tabloid culture in LA. He lived in New York City for 15 years before returning when paparazzi culture calmed down. But now Joel is back and he's performing in movies and TV shows, for example the most popular TV show right now, Wednesday Season 2. But while Haley struggled with controversies, Jacob Tremblay built a reputation as one of the most genuine child actors in Hollywood. Born in 2006, Jacob became a major star with Room in 2015, playing Jack, who lived in a tiny room with his mom. The sad but hurtful movie won several awards. Jacob even received a Critics' Choice Award, and his thank you speech was so sweet and won fans' hearts. He showed incredible range with emotions and people called him cute and smart. He later starred in Wonder, playing a child with a different appearance. Fans praised him, saying his acting is genuine and real. He's also been seen donating money to sick children. He became a fan favorite, with people saying he gives them hope for the future of child actors. Now we can watch his appearances in movies such as Luca, The Toxic Avenger, or even The Life of Chuck, where he shared the screen with famous Tom Hiddleston. While Jacob represents hope, this Hollywood's golden boy made choices that divided his fanbase. Daniel landed a role of lifetime in 2001 at age 11, Harry Potter in the Sorcerer's Stone. His performance helped the movie earn $1 billion worldwide. He continued through all 8 films, with the series making billions in total. His acting obviously improved with each film, but in 2007 he did a play called EQs, which had a lot of nudity. Some fans were upset, saying this is not our Harry, but Daniel kept going, proving he could take on roles beyond wizards. But behind the scenes, things weren't magical. He started drinking heavily while still playing Harry Potter. The pressure and constant attention from the very young age drove him to appear on set hungover, leading to public brawls. His battle with alcohol lasted years, but he eventually got back on track with help from family and friends from the Harry Potter set. In recent years, Daniel packed on muscle and appearance in films like Swiss Army Man and Guns Akimbo, but these roles never came close to Harry Potter's success. Many people say that running away from this Harry Potter label and accepting questionable roles ruined his entire career. So far we've seen actors falling into addictions, losing relatives, or losing themselves, but if you thought those stories were dark, nothing prepares you for Janet McCarthy. This is the most devastating child star story you'll ever hear. Many know Janet from iCarly, but how did a 6-year-old end up in Hollywood, a world she never wanted? In 1996, her mother Deborah got breast cancer. Treatment was expensive and changed her completely. Deborah always dreamed of being an actress but failed, so she forced into this world her daughter. She dragged 6-year-old Janet from agency to agency until one pitted them. Within a year, 8-year-old Janet wasn't just supporting her mother, she became the main family's income. At age 11, the nightmare escalated even more. Deborah taught Janet to count calories, portioned her food like a prison inmate, and told her she was too fat. When a doctor diagnosed anorexia, which is completely opposite thing from being fat, Deborah promised to help but kept starving her daughter.
My mom actually had a history with eating disorders. She had been hospitalized for anorexia a few times, and she had introduced me to anorexia because she thought it would help me play younger roles for acting.
Right.
She
wow.
thought if I stayed smaller, it would be effective.
Wow.
And so remember there was
And
a-
it was.
Then came
Right.
iCarly. Dan Schneider gave her the leading role despite knowing about her eating disorders. He made her eat junk food on the camera by the handful. The show that should have been a dream became hell. Schneider encouraged her to drink alcohol, grab her thigh, and offered massages. When Janet told her mother, Deborah didn't care. She was too focused on the money and fame. Years later, Nickelodeon offered Janet $300,000 to stay silent. She rejected it. But with this, everything collapsed, and also the mother Deborah died. And theoretically, Janet was free, but she would live under total control. Despite the showers, the starvation, the abuse, she loved her mother. Apple juice became alcohol. Even that, her mother controlled her thoughts. The breakthrough took years. Through therapy, Janet realized her mother was her tormentor. She quit acting, something she never wanted, and became a writer like she would always dream. She published I'm Glad My Mother Died, writing about the showers, the abuse, the starvation was her therapy. It became a national bestseller. Today, Janet conquered her eating disorders and addiction. Her iCarly co-star Miranda Cosgrove supported her through it all, despite dealing with her own terrifying stalker situation. This horrific story ended with a happy ending. Janet finally does what she wants and lives in a harmony with herself for the first time ever. She's the owner of podcast Hard Feelings, where she often talks about very touching topics. If you like this video, you will probably enjoy this one as well, and don't forget to subscribe.